This is Dennis Prager for AmFed Coin and Bullion. There's something about the feel of a gold coin in your hand and the way the light reflects off its intricate details that has always captivated me. Nick Grovich, AmFed's owner, turned that same passion into livelihood. Nick began collecting coins as a teen, and that interest grew into a nationally respected business offering only the finest quality
You're doing
coins at the
1
most
hour of
competitive
Hometown
prices.
Talk
But
today.
the truth is that although
Due to
Nick
some
is a rare
technical,
coin dealer,
due to some
he
electrical
doesn't believe in
issues.
rare coins. Rare coins do not make sound investments, but they do make dealers a lot of money. See, that's part of what I respect about him. AmFed specializes in buying non-performing numismatic coins and turning them into gold and silver investments that provide liquidity and perform competitively against the market. Whether you're buying or selling, call 800-221-7694. That's 800-221-7694. AmericanFederal.com.
Correspondent Karen Chamis reports on a wildfire in California.
Fast-moving wildfire in picturesque Mono County in California has damaged 15 structures and prompted evacuations. The pack fire forced the closure of part of the highway. Firefighters worked to contain it on Thursday. The California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection says the fire had grown to about 5.3 square miles by Thursday night. Also said the fire had been whipped up by strong gusts of wind that reached as strong as 50 miles per hour. But by Thursday evening, the department announced that fire activity has decreased due to precipitation in the area.
If you can tell, we're in new studios
Pakistan
today.
has announced the arrest of 4 militants over their alleged involvement in a deadly suicide bombing outside a district court in the capital. The blast earlier this week killed 12 people, wounded more than 2 dozen others.
For our studios now.
News and analysis at townhall.com. Blue Origin has launched its huge New Glenn rocket with a pair of NASA spacecraft destined for Mars. Here's Bob Agnew.
The liftoff from Florida is only the second flight of the rocket that Jeff Bezos' company and NASA are counting on to get people and supplies to the moon. The Mars orbiters will spend a year hanging around Earth before setting off for the Red Planet. The rocket's inaugural test flight earlier this year reached orbit but failed to land the booster on a barge in the Atlantic. This time, Origin recovered the booster on its floating platform. Live to report.
The U.S. stock market tumbled to one of its worst days since its springtime sell-off. The S&P 500 sank more than 1.5% yesterday, pulling further from its all-time high set late last month. The Dow Industrials also dropped 1.7%, while the NASDAQ Composite lost more than 2%. Today, the Dow Future is also lower. More at townhall.com.
It's time now for the latest news in the 9 o'clock hour. Headlines presented by Morton Hospital in Taunton.
That's
the future is
that doesn't say the 14th.
Hospital.
It says
now
12th.
Proudly part of Brown
Didn't do one today.
Health. This change welcomes a new chapter
my
for
bad.
our community.
Okay.
Where Morton
No.
is empowered to truly
You didn't
shine.
do a headlines
As
today.
part of Brown University Health,
That was from the 12th.
we continue to provide the trusted care you depend on, supported by leading science that lights the way. Still local, now with us. Morton Hospital is now part of Brown University Health.
Commercial are we doing? All right. 10. 305.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests.
It's time for Hometown Talk on AM 1530 and 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station. Our phone lines are now open at 508-822-1106.
And good morning, everybody. Okay, and good morning, everybody. There we go. I just had to turn my mic on. There we go. It is 10:09 a.m. this morning. Yes, we're on the air here. We had some technical issues this morning. That's why you didn't hear the morning wake up news or the first hour of Hometown Talk this morning, but we are back here. We're going to be doing 1 hour of Hometown Talk today. So open phone lines 508-822-1106, 508-822-1106 is the number to call if you want to call in and talk about whatever is on your mind this morning. And we're here at our new studios here at Hong Kong City here in Taunton. We're at our new studios as well, so that's very, very exciting. So we're gonna deal with a couple of technical issues here and there. So stick with us here as we get those situated and get going here at our new studios as we've been here for the past couple of days here. But again, open phone lines today. We're doing 1 hour of Hometown Talk. 508-822-1106 is the number to call. Start off with our blood drives. We have several blood drives coming up here for the month of November. We have this upcoming Tuesday, November the 18th, at the Freetown Council on Aging. This is located at 227 Chase Road in Freetown, 2:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. for that blood drive. Then we have Monday, November 24th, at the Lakeville Public Library, 4 Preston Street in Lakeville, 12:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. for that. And then we have Sunday, the 30th of November, 60 Union Street, Middleborough, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for that blood drive. So a couple of blood drives coming up here for the month of November. If you're able to go give blood, definitely do so at these blood drives or any of the blood donation centers in the area. We have one in Rainham and we have one in Kingston. So there you go. We have that. I wanted to really quickly talk about here right off the bat. A couple other things I want to talk about here. A lot of the show today will be either transportation or sports. If you have anything transportation related or sports related, 508-822-1106 is the number to call. I want to mention the Patriots defeated the Jets yesterday, 27-24 in a Thursday night football game at Foxborough. And some pretty cool uniforms with that as well. They had the NFL rivalry uniforms. It was kind of like a lighter blue kind of thing. And it was really good uniform, honestly. I did like it. Did like those uniforms. It looked pretty good. And the promotion for it as well was very well done. As well, of course, Thursday Night Football. So it wasn't on national TV. You still were able to watch it on TV on some of the local channels and as well on the Sports Hub if you tuned in via the radio. So that was good. But if you do have Amazon Prime, let me know. Let me know how that broadcast came out too. 508-822-1106. If you have Amazon and watched that game via that particular streaming service there. But there were other options when it comes to watching or listening to the Patriots game, which is good. Because not everyone has Amazon. And there's always other options if you don't have that when it comes to listening to it. Listening to games on Thursday nights on the radio as well, wherever the games are. For the most part, there are some good options there too. Anyway, when it comes to the radio, we have that the Patriots picked up the win, 27-14, which was expected. That was an expected victory for the Patriots. They're 9-2. They go on to Cincinnati, and That's going to be a pretty good game as well. A little harder than the Jets, I would imagine. Of course, you got Joe Flacco there, so it's a little bit tougher there for the Bengals. So we'll see what happens with that game. You got the Steelers doing pretty well as well with their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think those two, the Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers, they face off against each other once again relatively soon as well. So that's going to be a good matchup. The first one was really good. So we'll see what the second one entails when that comes up. But a lot of Patriots fans are saying it's going to be a relatively easy game. I wouldn't write off the Cincinnati Bengals. I really wouldn't. Yes, their season is kind of it's really on the edge because Joe Burrow is out right now, and he's hurt and won't be back till probably after Thanksgiving when it comes to his injury. He got a pretty significant foot injury that has caused him to miss quite a bit of the season, and he will not play against the Patriots. So it's going to be an interesting game there. Every game going forward, it's going to be pretty interesting. Even the Bills game, I feel like that game could be a game where we're going to have a little bit of a tough time, but I feel pretty good about that game. I really do. The Patriots, I'm really fired on all cylinders here this season. The Bills are struggling right now. More struggles at times than others, but the Bills have really struggled at times during the season. So I do feel good about that game. I feel good about the rest of the season for the most part. You do have another game against Miami, who, they're starting to get together a little bit. Miami is, but they're still really bad. You just had that win against the Jets, who are really bad, and you got a game against the Giants, who are really bad. So you got some good games coming up where you can rack up more wins. It really looks like there's maybe one more loss that we could suffer this year, and that's against the Bills. But the positive thing about that is we're at home. So that's not going to be an easy game for the Buffalo Bills. We're at home late November or wherever the game is. It's coming up. So I think it's after the Cincinnati game. And then there's the bye week coming up as well. But that's not going to be an easy game for Buffalo, having to come to New England in late November with the crowd we have and the team we have. And it's going to be very tough for Buffalo. So we've got a really good record, and probably have a really good record at the end of the year. But what are your thoughts on the Patriots and that win yesterday? 508-822-1106 is the number. The Red Sox off season, it is kind of unfolding a little bit as we head into mid-November. Things really won't start really ramping up, I think, for another couple of weeks when it comes to the offseason. The MLB awards were just announced yesterday. Aroldis Chapman won reliever of the year, which, of course, he did. I mean, we took a look at some of his stats. You would understand why the MLB gave him that award, the AL reliever of the year. I mean, he was so good for the Red Sox. But the Red Sox season is kind of, the offseason is kind of starting to ramp up a little bit. There are some rumors out there about players like Pete Alonso the Red Sox could be targeting. There's a lot of talk about Alex Bregman. as well. Could he, come back on another deal with the Red Sox? I don't know. It's probably not likely. It's probably not likely that we see Alex Bregman back, but it is possible, I would say. You got some other players. There's questions about the other players on the team as well, what their future is with the team. We secured Trevor Story as well. Trevor Story is back with us for another year, which is great. We signed a couple of important players as well, and we'll just see how the offseason goes as we go forward here. But we are gonna switch over. Well, we'll do one more sports thing here, coming out of the first commercial break. We're taking our first commercial break. We're gonna do one more sports thing, and I been talking about this for weeks, months even. When they announced that they were doing this, the Salem Red Sox have changed their name, and I have some thoughts. And I know people are awaiting my thoughts on this. I've heard some feedback from people as well about the name, and it's not positive. Not positive, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that here when we come back from our first commercial break. Again, open phone lines today, 508-822-1106, 508-822-1106 is the number if you want to call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. After the 10:30 news, we are going to do some transportation and maybe talk about some other local events going on as well. But we're going to do some transportation in the second half of this hour. Again, we're here till 11 o'clock today. Instead of 9 to 11, we're here from 10 to 11 today. Due to some issues that we had with the station this morning. But we're back here to do this hour of Hometown Talk. So open phone lines today. We'll be right back after this commercial break on WVBF 1530 AM 99.7 FM. Good.
Taunton Federal Credit Union's newest full-service location at 403 Winthrop Street in Taunton is now open. This is TFCU's fourth location, which includes its main office at 14 Church Green in Taunton and branches in Middleborough and New Bedford. Taunton Federal Credit Union's been serving the city of Taunton and surrounding communities since 1947 and is committed to offering an extensive range of products and services designed specifically with you in mind. Membership in the Taunton Federal Credit Union is now available to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Bristol County, Plymouth County, and Barnstable County in Massachusetts, Bristol, Kent, Newport, and Providence counties in Rhode Island, and the Rhode Island communities of Charlestown, Exeter, Hopkinton, Narragansett, New Shore, North Kingstown, Richmond, and South Kingstown. They want to make your banking experience as easy as possible by giving you PU's fourth location, which includes apps on the go, all the while providing you the latest and greatest in banking technology. Stop in today and see what the Taunton Federal Credit Union can offer you.
Yeah. Behind now.
Hey, restaurant, when it comes to great food and in-house operations, you've got it
242.
down to a science. But when it comes to
Okay.
online marketing, ordering, and delivery, Devour Now has got you covered. Devour Now has 0% commission, no setup costs, and the delivery solution you've been hoping for. Go to getdevournow.com to request a demo and to get started today. That's getdevournow.com. Commission-free online marketing, ordering, and delivery.
All right, 242.
Matthew Mission Food
136.
Pantry helps people with food insecurities from the hardships of life. In a few short years, they have given more than 4,000 bags of groceries to those in need. For guests with limited transportation options, They are open every Saturday morning from 9:30 to 11:30 at the north door of the First Parish Church, 76 Church Green, and are available to anyone, no questions asked. The demand increases every week. With the looming reduction in SNAP benefits, the need is growing. Please consider a donation of unexpired, non-perishable food items, grocery store gift cards, or a monetary donation via check to the Matthew Mission Food Pantry, 76 Church Green, Taunton, or by Venmo at Matthew Mission Food Pantry. The Matthew Mission Inc. is a registered 501c3 organization. Thank you.
Don't miss InfoTrack weekends here on WVVF. InfoTrack is a weekly nationally syndicated public affairs radio show that features interviews with experts discussing topics of real interest to you. InfoTrack strives to present impartial, balanced coverage of every story. I'm your host, Chris Whitting, along with a team of talented reporters and legendary announcer, Charlie Van Dyke. InfoTrack Saturday mornings at 8:05 a.m. and Sundays at 9 a.m. here on WVBF AM 1530 and 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
And we're back. So turn down the bumper music. There we go. It is 10:26 a.m. here. Got a couple minutes here before the 10:30 news break, and finish up a little bit of the sports here by turning my attention to minor league baseball, which pretty much ends this week. You got the Arizona Fall League and their championship. I believe it's this week or this weekend. So baseball for the minor leagues is going to wrap up and will be done until April 2nd, at least for the Salem Red Sox. We'll get to that in a minute. But the Salem Red Sox have been teasing for several months now that they were going to be doing a rebrand. Well, that rebrand had just been announced as of last Saturday, and I have some thoughts. The Salem Red Sox are now going by the name of the Salem Ridge-Yaks. I'll repeat that again. The Salem Ridge-Yaks. An animal that you don't see in America. As far as my research is, looking at, not even close. Apparently the Tibet region is where you see a lot of yaks, not in Salem, Virginia. So I don't know why this name was picked. The ridge part of it, I get it. Like the Blue Ridge Mountains, they loom beyond the ballpark, providing one of the most beautiful backdrops in minor league baseball. The Ridge Yak's name in the blue color of the yak, which is on a canoe-like thing, and he's got a paddle in his hand, and in one of his horns, a baseball is stuck to one of his horns. I just don't get it. I get the ridge part of the name. Again, Blue Ridge Mountains, and the meaning of it, in southwestern Virginia, where Salem is, there's a lot of outdoor activities, and they wanted to incorporate that, said Alan Lawrence, the team's general manager. And then yaks. A yak is a home run term in baseball, and it is short for kayak. Okay, well, again, the incorporation of the yak really makes no sense. The animal, the yak, makes no sense, in my opinion. Again, seeing as you don't see those here in America. I don't know. And another thing that I see with this logo and the logo itself and the colors and the branding, it's very Yankees-like. It's very New York Yankees-like. I don't know if I like that. As a Boston Red Sox fan, what were they thinking when it comes to the colors? Because what people will take one look at it and say, is this a New York Yankees minor league team? I mean, that's an obvious thing. That's a big concern there for Red Sox fans, because again, your logo looks like it's a New York Yankees minor league team. The blue and the white. Yeah, there's some red in there, which makes you look like the Chicago Cubs as well, which is again not great because you're again Boston Red Sox minor league affiliate. And some of the secondary logos, one of the secondary logos looks like a New York Yankees logo as well, and or it's similar to it. And again, what are you doing? You're a Boston Red Sox minor league affiliate, not a New York Yankees minor league affiliate. So yeah, I don't care for this particular rebrand. Is it absolutely horrible? No. But is it good? No. It's somewhere in the middle. It's somewhere in the middle with me. I lean more towards I don't like it. I lean more towards I don't like it. The California League in the single A minor leagues of the MLIB did a very good job with a rebrand of their own. It's more of a they announced a new team kind of thing. They should have looked at Ontario, the Tower Buzzers as they're going to be called when they start up in April, for the right way to name a team and the right way to do it, and the meaning of that team as well, because the Salem Ridgeacs it doesn't cut it. It just does not cut it, in my opinion. But the Salem Ridgeacs will make their debut on April 2nd, 2026. They take on the Delmarva Shorebirds, and it'll be at home at Salem Memorial Ballpark. But anyway, what is your thoughts of the Salem Ridgeacs? 508-822-1106. That's just something I wanted to kind of close on, because close up and tie up in a nice little bow, because I've been talking about this for months, and it was kind of exciting. New team identity for a Red Sox minor league affiliate. It's kind of exciting, but this is not it. Anyway, 508-822-1106 is the number if you want to call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. Let's take our news break, and we'll be right back.
News this hour from Town Hall.
Close on, because close up and tie up a nice little bow, because I've been talking about this for months, and it was kind of exciting.
There was a pretty substantive attack that lasted several hours. President Zelensky this morning said that 430 drones were involved and 18 missiles, many of them ballistic. It was definitely across the city. We could see explosions on the horizon here, but we could also see missiles and drones flying over above us here in the center of the city.
BBC's James Lansdale says two other
10:30,
Ukrainian cities
everybody.
also attacked. In this country, the parents of at least 2 babies sickened by an infantile botulism outbreak are suing the makers of ByHeart baby formula. Here's correspondent Marcela Sanchez.
At least 15 infants across a dozen states who have fallen ill since the outbreak began in early August. Federal and state officials say no deaths have been reported. By Heart recalled all of its formula across the U.S. on Tuesday.
Now that the government is reopened, air travelers are eager for flight schedules to return to normal.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the 6% limit will stay in place while officials assess to see whether the air traffic system can safely return to normal. The flight cuts were implemented last week as more air traffic controllers were calling out of work, citing stress and the need to take on second jobs, leaving some control towers and facilities short-staffed. I'm Mike Hempen.
On Capitol Hill, the House is toward a vote on releasing files from the sex trafficking investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. Republican leaders have no choice but to allow a vote after a petition on the Epstein bill reached the needed 218 signatures. More at townhall.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-0141. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-0141. That's 800-583-0141. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
There's been a toxic gas leak in Oklahoma.
Dozens of people became sickened Wednesday night in Weatherford, Oklahoma, when a tanker truck parked in a hotel parking lot began leaking anhydrous ammonia gas. Anhydrous ammonia is used as fertilizer, but can burn people in its liquid or gaseous form. People nearby were evacuated, others were told to shelter in place, and several dozen people were taken to the hospital for difficulty breathing. Weatherford Police Chief Angelo Orfici says the gas has dissipated, enough for people to return home. I'm Donna Warder.
Charlotte, North Carolina is the latest U.S. city preparing for a potential immigration crackdown by the Trump administration. The Mecklenburg County Sheriff says federal officials plan to deploy U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents as early as this weekend. Details of the operation, however, remain undisclosed at the moment. News and analysis at townhall.com. A strike against Boeing is coming to an end.
The Boeing machinists in the Midwest who assemble military aircraft and weapons voted to approve a new contract. The breakthrough 5-year labor agreement includes a 24% wage hike across the life of the contract and a $6,000 signing bonus, according to the union representing 3,200 workers who walked off the job on August 4th.
That report from Bill Alexander. The nation's largest retailer will soon have a new boss. Walmart CEO Doug McMillon will retire at the end of January. He's been at the company's helm since 2014. John Furner, the head of U.S. operations, will succeed McMillon as CEO. Americans will be allowed to contribute more money to 401k and other retirement saving plans beginning next year. The IRS says the maximum contribution will rise to $24,500. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, this is Paul Lazarovich, host of Saturday morning's Cranberry Country Journal, inviting you to join me live 10 a.m. on WVBF 1530 AM and 99.7 FM via the internet or our Facebook live stream. Since 1993, Cranberry Country Journal has been providing a slice of life of the people, places, events, and activities that make the Cranberry Country area a special place to call home. Catch Cranberry Country Journal Saturday mornings 10 to 11 a.m. on WVBF 1530 AM and 99.7 FM.
Taunton Federal Credit Union's full-service location at 403 Winthrop Street in Taunton is now open. This is TFCU's fourth location, which includes its main office at 14 Church Green in Taunton and branches in Middleborough and New Bedford. Taunton Federal Credit Union's been serving the city of Taunton and surrounding communities since 1947 and is committed to offering an extensive range of products and services designed specifically with you in mind. Membership in the Taunton Federal Credit Union is now available to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends schools in Bristol County, Plymouth County, and Barnstable County in Massachusetts, Bristol, Kent, Newport, and Providence counties in Rhode Island, and the Rhode Island communities of Charlestown, Exeter, Hopkinton, Narragansett, New Shoreham, North Kingstown, Richmond, and South Kingstown. They want to make your banking experience as easy as possible by giving you convenient access to manage your accounts on the go, all the while providing you with the latest and greatest in banking technology. Stop in today and see what the Taunton Federal Credit Union can offer you.
189.
At some health systems, cancer care can make you feel like a number.
6.
At South Coast Health Cancer Care, you're more than a diagnosis. We offer the most advanced treatments and the latest surgical advancements. We're a connected team of experts who not only see your cancer, but all of you. Because healing isn't just medicine, it's compassion, it's connection, it's care that knows your story and walks along with you. We are South Coast Health Cancer Care. Visit southcoast.org/cancercare.
Okay. Come on.
Don't miss InfoTrack weekends here on WVVF. InfoTrack is a weekly nationally syndicated public affairs radio show that features interviews with experts discussing topics of real interest to you. InfoTrack strives to present impartial, balanced coverage of every story. I'm your host, Chris Whitting, along with a team of talented reporters and legendary announcer, Charlie Van Dyke. InfoTrack, Saturday mornings at 8:05 a.m. and Sundays at 9 a.m. Here on WVBF AM 1530 and 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
110.
Hey, restaurant. When it comes to great food and in-house operations.
Hello, caller. You're on WVBF. We're currently on a commercial break.
Online marketing, ordering, and delivery.
Oh, hey. Yeah, we're on a commercial break. Just give me 1 second. We'll be back on the air, okay?
And the delivery solution you've been hoping for. Go to getdevournow.com
Is it?
to request a demo.
Yeah.
Get started today.
I don't know.
Getdevournow.com.
Yeah. That stops. All right. Yeah, Mark knows. Mark knows. Yeah, Mark knows. Okay, we're coming back. 3, 2, 1, and 0. All right, we're back. As I turn down the bumper music, there we go. On the phone lines with me is Dawn Driscoll. Good morning, Dawn. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Joey. How are you? How you like your new place?
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah. That's good. We're just trying to get some of the bugs ironed out, as I was saying earlier. So still, still new here.
Got to chase out all the gremlins, right?
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
Don, what's going on in the world of transportation this morning? I know you were telling me earlier today about something kind of interesting with the Framingham Worcester line.
Well, that happened years ago, and I don't get it because the whole idea is to keep traffic down and keep emissions down. But when you run out the only freight railroad in Boston, push them all the way to Worcester, and all that truck traffic going to the Boston and Seaport is done by truck, it doesn't make any sense. I really think they should open some freight yards in Boston and start running rail into Boston, piggyback and paying the traffic. Because, I mean, it's, I don't know, it's not going backwards, in my opinion. You know?
Yeah. Another thing that we learned a couple of weeks ago now, kind of flew under the radar. There was a lot of stuff going on because the government shut down and things like that. But this kind of flew under the radar. But David Fink has been confirmed as FRA administrator. finally, after what seemed like a year, he was confirmed. He had that hearing all the way back in May, I think it was late May, and he was named. I think he named him in like January as the pick. So it's been a while, but finally, about a month ago, he was picked as FRA and confirmed as FRA administrator, Don.
Well, we gotta get our people in there. It's our government officials.
Exactly.
But hey, Joey, one other thing too, going to New York.
Yes.
I mean, I know people, don't, they don't take New York Transit, listen or whatever, but they're thinking about having Metro North roll into Penn Station. There's a couple of proposals for the line to go down the West Side corridor that Amtrak takes and serve Metro train from the Hudson line, and also the Connecticut line going the way Amtrak goes going over Hellgate Bridge and going into the east side there.
Mm-hmm.
So they're working on building some stations and setting everything up that too. So that's good for New York. That's something I've been thinking about.
Yeah. All right. One other thing I want to briefly mention with you here, and then I'll let you go. I know you're a little busy, so we won't keep you that long. But the MBTA has announced that they are studying a potential of expanding ferry service, which is a very interesting thing. Dawn, if you were in charge of the ferries for the MBTA, what's one thing you want to say? Like where would you want the MBTA ferries to expand to?
Well, they got Hingham and Hall. That pretty much takes care of the South Shore, Winthrop. I don't know if they wanted to get crazy, maybe run ferry service to maybe Marshfield, that area, Marshfield area, Duxbury, maybe Kingston. That's a little ride. And then as far as North Shore, run it up to Newburyport and Gloucester.
Well, that's something we got to keep an eye on because they're doing.
It wouldn't be Newburyport because you got to go through the canal there and Cape Ann's on the way, but maybe Gloucester.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
So,
Well. Yeah, we'll be keeping a close eye on it. This is again very early stages. If something does happen, that would be huge for the ferries because a couple of years ago they were having some pretty serious issues with the ferries and. When it comes to ridership and the MBTA wanting to get rid of a particular line, which didn't end up happening, which is good. And hopefully this just helps the ferries along and, maybe inject some new life into them.
Yeah. I mean, if we couldn't, a lot of our rivers are dammed, so you can't really run into that. But I mean, even running ferries up the rivers, but I think that'd be too much. But I think maybe extending it down to Marshfield because Marshfield, probably Harbor area, because that's ferry in Marshfield. Greenbush doesn't really have to come that close.
Yeah.
And then I'd say that because there's not much more we can do from Massachusetts.
All right. Well,
whatnot.
Yeah. All right. Well, Don, thank you so much for giving us a couple minutes, calling in, talking a little bit about some transportation with us today.
All right. Well, we'll be on the air Sunday together. That'd be great.
Yes, we'll be back on the air once again on Sunday, so stay tuned. But thank you, Don.
Okay. That'd be good, Joey. Thank you.
Yep, you too. Bye-bye. That was Don giving us a couple minutes, talking about some transportation issues. Like I mentioned, the MBTA has announced that they are going to be doing a study on expanded ferry service, which is a big deal. The ferries over the past couple of years, they've had their issues over the past couple of years. With efforts to save a ferry line that was looking like it was going to get cut, and I believe that was the Hingham and Hull line of the ferries that was going to get cut a few years ago. I think it was just prior to COVID, but that did not happen. And the Hingham and Hull line is still going for the ferries, which is great. Hopefully, this study maybe opens up opportunities to where they can expand the ferry service and, again, inject some new life into the ferries for sure for the MBTA, which is going to be very good. All right. Let's take our last commercial break here. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to do a little bit more transportation. We got a couple of things. We have an update on the Foxborough station upgrades when it comes to their accessibility upgrades that they're going to be doing for the World Cup, which is going to be this summer as well. And we have a couple of other transportation things as well. We have about 10 minutes left in the program as well. If you want to call in, 508-822-1106, 508-822-1106. If you want to call in, talk about whatever is on your mind this morning, whether it be sports-related, transportation-related, or anything else as well. And sure, with some of these transportation topics that we talked about today, there'll be some expanded thoughts on Sunday's program. Middleborough in Review, Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Stay tuned for that this Sunday morning. And stay tuned all this weekend for some great programming here on WVBF. But let's take our last commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have a little bit more transportation to end the show today. We'll be right back.
The Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles as a hobby. Our mission is to support those who have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance, or simply to say thank you and welcome.
Particular
nearly
promo.
All 50 states and living abroad. Many members continue to serve in our armed forces, with several serving in combat areas now. We sponsor and or participate in many motorcycle-related charity events each year, and as a nonprofit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support, please visit cvma2-2.org.
Hi, I'm Chris Keach of the Morning Wake Up News here at WVBF. My good friend Joey Driscoll has an amazing program all about Middleborough Sunday mornings from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. It's called Middleborough in Review. He talks about sports. He talks about local events in Middleborough and anything of interest in Middleborough and beyond. So join in Middleborough in Review with Joey Driscoll, Sunday morning, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. only here at AM 1530 WVBF and at 99.7 FM.
These commercials are done. Okay. Alright, here we go. And we're back. So I turned down the bumper music. There we go. 10:53 a.m. I'm Joey Driscoll. Today is the 14th of November, 2025. November 14th, 2025. It is a Friday. Open phone lines here for the remaining 6 minutes of the program, 508-822-1106. We're going to finish the program here with one more transportation story and then a couple of community announcements as well here to end the program as well. All right. There is a major upgrade underway at Foxborough T Station ahead of the World Cup. The MBTA stop that serves Gillette Stadium, they're undergoing a $35 million renovation project to accommodate the tens of thousands of World Cup fans that are expected to be attending each of the matches next summer. And it's going to be about 60,000 fans expected to attend each match. The MBTA, again, in the middle of this construction project that will end up costing $35 million, and this is to renovate Foxborough Station. For the longest time, Foxborough Station only had one non-accessible platform. When complete, there will be 2 platforms on each side of the tracks. A 600-foot-long temporary platform on the neighborhood side and an 800-foot-long permanent one, which will be on the stadium side. It's significant and crucial and critical to serving the stadium, noting that the T is essentially doubling the capacity. Both platforms will be elevated, which makes them fully accessible. With so many likely planning to drive down Route 1, the MBTA is making sure public transportation can help move fans. The new station is expected to be complete just about a month before the matches begin in June of next year. So there you go. They're on a little bit of a tight schedule with that, but they're expected to get that done late spring 2026 in time for the World Cup matches that will take place next year. Here for the World Cup here in the States, it will take place across the country. The World Cup, some big matches in some big locations as well. It's going to be a big event, and so is the 2028 Olympics as well. That'll be a big event, and it'll be in LA as well. So a lot of big sporting events coming up here in the country as well. And for the short term and for the long term as well. A lot of interesting things going on here in the country when it comes to sports. Okay, a couple of minutes here for community announcements. I'll do a couple of weekend announcements here first for this particular weekend. The Taunton Arts Association Arts and Crafts Fair, that takes place tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 42 Williams Street. There'll be a silent auction, bake sale, artwork by local artists for sale as well. There'll be crafts for sale, raffles, and a drawing for a door prize. The first Unitarian Universalist Society Holiday Craft Fair will take place at the church in Middleborough. That'll be taking place also on Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the parish hall. That's going to be located at 25 South Main Street in Middleborough. There'll be pottery, stained glass, candles, cards, and more for those impossible to buy for folks on your list. Shoppers can also purchase homemade food, baking goods, soups, jams, and jellies. Attendants will also have a chance to win a queen-sized quilt made by one of the vendors. The winner will be selected at the end of the fair, and the winner doesn't need to be present to win the prize. In Canton tomorrow, the third annual Holiday Craft Fair takes place from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Irish Cultural Center located at 200 New Boston Drive. Raffle proceeds will benefit suicide prevention in veterans and first responders. and over 50 vendors are to be expected at this event. Easton Historical Society and Museum open house will take place on Sunday, November the 16th, 12:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the Easton Historical Society and Museum, 80 Mechanic Street in North Easton. Join them as they honor and recognize Easton's military veterans. Hear from guest speakers as they share their military experiences, an extensive collection of military artifacts. And finally, in East Bridgewater, Holiday Craft Fair, Union Congregational Church, located at 105 Pleasant Street, next Friday night, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. and again on Saturday, November 22nd. So, the 21st and 22nd of November from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't miss the ziti and meatball dinner. That'll take place on the 21st of November. So next Friday, that event takes place. And with that, it is 11 o'clock. I want to thank everyone for listening to today's program and everyone who called in. Don, who called in earlier. But it is 11 o'clock. I want to thank everyone for listening, and I will be back once again on the air on Sunday morning with another edition of Middleborough in Review. Have a great weekend, everybody. The 21st and 22nd of November from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't miss the ziti and meatball dinner. That'll take place on the 21st of November, so next Friday, that event takes place. And with that, it is 11 o'clock. I want to thank everyone for listening to today's program and everyone who called in. Don, who called in earlier. But it is 11 o'clock. I want to thank everyone for listening, and I will be back again on the air Sunday morning with another edition of Middleborough Review. Have a great weekend, everybody.
We are AM 1530, WVBF, Middleborough, Taunton, and W259DD, Middleborough Center, 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
On America First agenda.
We're back on the air with that. Perfect. Okay. So that'll end that. Hope everyone enjoyed today's program. I'll be back. I'll be doing my show on Sunday on the Middleborough in Review YouTube page if you want to tune in to that. That's the Middleborough in Review YouTube page, Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Bye-bye, everybody.